Hey, it's Clayton Olson, and in this video, we're going to be talking about when your avoidant comes back. This is the only thing that matters. Perhaps they're back in your life and you've had some kind of relationship with them. Maybe it's been deep, maybe it's been a long one, or perhaps it's been a short connection. But either way, your heart's racing, they're back. All of your hopes and dreams of them coming back into your life and the possibility of reconciling is at hand. And you're thinking, what do I do here? How do I handle this? You don't want to get burnt again. And at the same time, God, it just feels like if things could just be different this time, and maybe they will be different because they've come back around and they've realized what they've lost or they've had a change of heart. What's actually going on here? And what is the main thing that I want to invite you to focus on? So I've been working with a number of clients lately, and they've all interestingly been constellating into these scenarios where they've got somebody that's back in their life and they're at different stages. Some of them are actively working on the relationship, others are in the very beginning stages of figuring out what they need. And I want to name something that's obvious here. The first one is that people will say, "Hey, well, just get really clear on your non-negotiables so that you don't run into more heartbreak." And I agree with that. I think that's really important. But what's even more important is the clarity that you come to as a result of them coming back into your life. And what I mean by that is that starting another relationship with this person and having them want to be back with you is kind of the surface level prize. And although that may seem really significant, there's a lot of things here we don't have control over. And we don't have a control over whether they're going to do the same thing again. But what you do have control over is the invitation, the responding to the invitation that's actually being presented to you. And I would argue that the invitation that is present for you right now in the situation is for you to come to a level of clarity about what you need in order for you to be able to move into this next higher level of relating with them. The clarity that you need, the things that you need to speak out loud to them that will impact them in a way that lets them know that you are unflappable in this clarity, in this want, in this desire, but also serves as a declaration to your inner self, your higher self, and the universe at large of what you are no longer going to be participating in moving forward. We often get really focused on controlling outside circumstances, and we miss the inner initiation that is present in these situations. And when you can really get clear on what it is that you need, and you can come to a place of being able to speak what you need from them, something transforms within you. And often the objection I get to this is, well, I don't want to scare them away. I want to maybe just see how things go and get back into some type of connection with them because it feels so good. And oftentimes what we end up doing is in these situations, especially if you occupy more of the anxious polarity, where you're paying attention to the closeness and trying to cultivate a closeness and connection with them, is we overlay that onto them. And we think that in order to create a relationship with them, we just need to reinforce that closeness and get close again with them, maybe get them hooked back in. But what we end up failing to realize is that for an avoidant, the closeness is a threat. It's a threat in their system. And many times when they come back, they haven't actually done the work on themselves. They haven't really had these epiphanies where they're ready to take responsibility for the way they've been showing up. And they're coming back into the picture because if they're really honest, they maybe do love you and they do appreciate you in the relationship. And because they've had this distance, they're no longer in touch with the threat that comes up within them, the threat of closeness. And so this is really an opportunity for you to get really clear on what you need and to be able to speak it into the space between you in terms of a declaration. Now, if you don't do this and you take the other route where you just allow the nostalgia and the love to hijack you and you just keep getting closer and closer to them, maybe you're even sleeping with them, but you guys don't have a container of trust and respect built first, then you could end up getting into really deep water with a undertow that sucks you out back into this emotional wasteland where you just get completely thrown against the rocks. And you've already been through that if you've gone through this breakup. And so my recommendation in this is don't go too deep out into the water. Don't go too deep away from the shore with them where you're up to your neck. Stay at waist level in terms of the depth of the connection that you're willing to offer, so that you can come back to shore, so that you can connect to your inner stability and not have your entire attachment system and neurology and nervous system wrapped up in sleeping with the person and prioritizing the love you have for each other over what has actually been compromised, which is the trust and the respect. More than likely in your relationship, as you guys broke up, trust and respect have been compromised in some way. And so you actually have to rebuild the trust and respect with this person first, where you trust and respect them and they trust and respect you. And that is very difficult to build if you're jumping into bed with them too quickly or prioritizing a romantic, loving connection over one where you're building the foundation of trust and respect. So you might be thinking, well, God, if I don't want to say these things. I don't want to get super clear on what I need, or maybe I am clear on what I need, but I don't want to speak it because you're afraid of scaring them away. And I'll say that an avoidant isn't necessarily scared away by the requirements, the clear requirements that you have. They can sense where you're coming from on the inside, your inner centeredness. What scares them away is a sense of neediness without any direction, a lack of being able to be clear with what you need. That's very difficult to respect, and it's very difficult to trust on their part. So if there's any chance of you being able to inspire them and catalyze them into doing the deeper work on themselves so that they can go into the deeper water with you in this next round of a relationship, you've got to be able to hold your ground. And yes, that might look like an ultimatum. That might look like you giving them an ultimatum of, hey, if you want a place in my life, the only way I would be open to stepping into this next version of relationship with you, one that is different than what we had before, is there's requirements that I have and there's work that we both need to do to make this happen. And I will not move any deeper with you, even though I love you, unless these boxes are checked and unless we are really making progress together. And what that does is it helps them see that you're serious and that we're not just going to be playing a game that is one of comfort, that we get to just get our nervous systems regulated without any type of commitment or with any type of growth path. So it is an ultimatum, and when you mean it and when you hold yourself accountable to the words that are coming out your mouth, of where you really mean what you say and you're willing to walk away if you don't get it, then sometimes, and many times, when these ultimatums are not a threat, they're necessary in order to hold the tension to create the next level of a relationship to come into being between the both of you. So that said, the reframes here are to see that it's not about this ex of yours or this avoidant coming back into your life and you being able to wrap them back up and hopefully try again. It's about clarity. It's about you actually speaking into existence what you really deeply know you need and want, and what you will no longer partake in terms of a dynamic. And whether it ends up with them, whether they move into alignment with that or whether they fall away, you are calling into alignment the type of relationship you want. And then it's a matter of trusting and letting go, and trusting truly that the universe will meet you with another person who also has that level of clarity and wants to play the game of relationship at the level that you want to play it at. My name's Clayton Olson. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, comment, subscribe to the channel for more insights around relationship and leadership and communication and really creating love that lasts in your life. And if you're going through a breakup right now, I want to encourage you to take the survey. It's in the link in the description below. There's a course called New Beginnings that is very values aligned with what I talk about and what I'm up to here that I think could be very beneficial. And if you'd like to talk to me directly about your situation, there's also a link in the description to a coaching application where we can have a one-on-one conversation and talk about helping you get professional support during this time so you can make the most of it, learn as much as possible, and upgrade to the next level of relating and love in your life. Thanks for watching.